Do you have lots of coursework or project in hand? Or are you working on part-time jobs? Or even perhaps you're working on your full-time job, but you are constantly feeling strained at the end of the day and then you just cannot find a time to really focus on applying to the job that you have been dreaming of. Well, the good news is if you're facing all of these problems, then it's actually a good problem to have because it means that you're someone who wants to do so many things and you're someone who wants to achieve great things in your life. In this video, I'm going to share with you my top 5 hacks that you can easily use to find time for your job application process. So if you're someone who is struggling with that, then you need to keep watching. If you don't know who I am, my name is Mingke and I am a career coach that helps international students like you to find the job roles that you deserve. With that, let's get started. The first thing you need to know is that the idea of finding a time is a false statement. Each person has 24 hours to sleep, eat, work, but what differentiates a successful candidate from the rest is how they use their time. You can spend 2 hours going to the gym, doing healthy exercise, or you can also spend 2 hours staying on the sofa and watching Netflix. So when you say you can't find time for your job application process, what this actually means is that it's not so important for you. So you need to flip your thinking because job application is building for your future career and all of your past education, it's all leading up to this point. So doing coursework is also important because you want to get good grades, but you should not focus on getting the best grades because it's actually not as helpful as getting some work experience or working on a project. So you should find time to, really focus on your job application process because this is what your previous education is all about. The second hack is time allocation. This is going to change how you organize your day and make your whole day much more efficient. So what I mean is you should allocate a certain time for an individual task that you are doing. For instance, if you need to work on your CV today, instead of allocating the whole day to do CV, because most of the time, the task of working on your CV is going to fill up the whole day. What you should do instead is to say, okay, I'm going to work on my CV for the next 2 hours and I should really focus on getting my CV done in this 2 hours. So what you essentially do is that you are allocating an artificial deadline for yourself. So you are forced to get the work done within this time frame. And if you allocate time for each task that you need to do during the day, then you are able to do multiple things much more efficiently. The next hack is use your most productive time to do the most complicated things. So for example, for me, morning are usually my best time because I woke up, I felt more refreshed and my brain is ready to do the hard work. In this case, in the morning, I usually have much more brain power. So I would do complex tasks in my morning, for example, like writing an essay or doing extensive research. So what happens throughout the day is that your brain power is going to decrease. Then as the day goes by, what you should focus on is doing less complex tasks. For example, like going to gym or prepping healthy meals. This next trick is going to change your whole perspective about productivity and job application. I'm talking about elimination of your associated emotions. If you think about it, 80% of your procrastination actually exists in your mind. Often you feel scared or overwhelmed because you haven't done a task before or is this your first time doing something? But when you actually start doing the task, you realize it's actually not that overwhelming or not that scary as you thought before. And most of the time it exists just in your head. And most of the time, it's the thinking and the emotion associated with the task that stop you from actually getting the work done. So if you disassociate the emotion from the task you need to do, for example, when you think about writing your CV, then just get to do it without thinking too much about it. Then it's more about the execution, less about the thinking. And this is the trick that is going to kill off any procrastination that you will have. Last and most importantly is to have a system. When you first send out your job application, it's going to take you the most amount of time because it's your first time doing everything in this process. But once you have done it, then for your second, third, or 10th job application that you are sending out, it's going to be much easier. So what you want to do is once you have done your CV, once you have done your cover letter, you want to systemize things. You want to have a process and workflow of how you customize certain things in your CV, of how you send out application, establish a couple of efficient channels to send out your application to. Because once you have these systems in place, it's going to save you 70% of your time in the future. And it will be much easier to stay consistent with your job application process because you just need to customize the rest of 30% or 20%. These are my top 5 hacks to find time for your job application when you are super busy, when you are filled up with different tasks during the day. And one bonus advice is that don't get beaten up when you don't manage to send out one application each day, because at the end of the day, you need to look after your mental health. You want to make sure that you're constantly disciplined and motivated to do job application. And being consistent is much more important than being too efficient. If you want to find the most efficient way of applying to jobs, I have developed a program called Dream Career Academy, the DCA program, which is going to help you find the most efficient way of finding a job, and it's going to teach you every single thing that you need to do in order to max out your success of job application process, so that you can spend less time and just focus on finding the most interesting role to you and aligning your value to the company. You can access the program through the link in my bio, and I'll see you in the next video.